Welcome to Crosscut, a movie review slash trivia challenge show hosted by yours truly, Josh, accompanied by my co-host, co-captain, and co-director, Chris. Chris,
Hello.
hello. Are you ready to hop on this bus and talk about Renfield?
Yes.
Ah,
Let's do it.
Great. And once we hit that bus and that bus hits 50 miles an hour, you, the audience, then know it's time for Pop Quiz Hotshot. But before we do that, let's get into today's movie. So, today we are taking a look at Renfield, a comedy fantasy horror written by Ryan Ridley, based off an original idea by Walking Dead creator himself, Robert Kirkman,
Yep.
and directed by Chris McKay. It stars the two Nicholases, Holt and Cage, and Awkwafina, just to name a few. And the story is about Renfield, Dracula's decade of servitude henchman who longs for a life away from the Count, his various demands, and all of the bloodshed that comes with him. Before we get into this movie, we do want to issue a spoiler warning, as this episode may contain potential spoilers. So if you have not seen Renfield yet, we highly recommend pausing this episode, getting yourself uno momento.
Why you keep forgetting it?
I just, just happens. Get yourself a nice big old popcorn and a tasty beverage. Well, good enough. Get yourself a tasty beverage. Go see the movie in theaters.
Yes.
For everybody else, begin. All right, Chris, take it away.
All right. So I chose Renfield this week because I've always been a Nicolas Cage fan. And I've always been a Dracula fan too. So putting those two together, come on. It's like a no-brainer. You gotta go see it, right? And I literally just came back from watching it like literally 30 minutes ago. So I'm in my head rushing with the trivia questions, literally stopping a red light. Okay, yeah, this could be a good question. All right.
Don't do this at home, folks, or we recommend
Please,
please
don't text and drive.
Don't movie trivia and drive, yes.
Right. When I first sat in the theater, okay, I'm waiting for it, and it jumps right into it. And like, oh, there's no like slow beginning, there's no like action-packed thing or anything like that. It's just right with a support group.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Right. Okay, I've seen this from the trailers and everything. And I was like, all right, it starts with a narration. Cool, just like the trailer. And right when he said, oh wait, I'm going too far. Let's start at the beginning. And as soon as they brought the black and white, like,
that was great.
That was awesome.
That was great. I love that. Kind of wish they did more of that, and that they could have, because it was so cool. It looked good too. Like I gotta admit, it looked really good.
It was like everything was perfect, like the Bela Lugosi Dracula. It was like from the set to the costumes, the way they spoke and everything, even the practical effects that they used back then. They used the exact same ones. I was like, all right, I'm loving this so far.
Yeah, I could have honestly probably watched a whole movie of just Nicolas Cage as Dracula in that black and white Dracula. I love,
I know, I could have done the same thing. It was just perfect. It was a perfect beginning for that movie.
Yeah.
And then as it progressed, I was like, okay, I'm getting more hyped for it, And what I liked about it mostly was the gore.
Yeah.
Like the gore and the comedy, it mixed well together.
Yeah.
I was very entertained, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, the makeup. Oh my God.
The makeup is great, especially after Nick Cage gets burned by the daylight the first time, like really bad. And he's starting to come back little by little, and he's just like droopy face, just like, yeah, that looked great. And you gotta appreciate it because like I think that was like prosthetics on his face. It wasn't any type of CG. They
Well,
easily could have just made that like CGI or whatever if they wanted to, but it feels
yeah,
like they
no.
actually went the dedicated route of making it like
I
look
mean,
real good.
look who's the one of the producers. I mean, come on, The Walking Dead. It's
Oh,
very
Robert Kirkman.
right.
Yeah.
It felt that makeup felt very Walking Dead to me,
Okay.
but it yeah, but I still loved it.
Yeah.
Like the oozing, the the
Yeah.
skin falling off.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything like right now that I don't like about the movie because it's it keeps you on your feet.
This is a very sharp. I think it's like a 93-minute movie. Very
Hmm.
very quick. Very well paced. Nothing really dragged. Very very
Huh.
funny, as you mentioned. I saw this also today with I only as actually was only going to go by myself to go see it. When I strolled into the theater, I noticed one of my buddies that worked at the theater with his buddy, and
Oh,
we've seen
nice.
movies before. And my one buddy, his friend, is a trip. We saw a couple movies so far together, and every
Uh-huh.
time he's the kind of guy who like laughs hysterically
Oh,
in the theater to where everybody hears him, but it's kind of contagious. So
okay, okay.
when I was walking in, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a good time watching this movie," and I already knew it. And of course, like we were laughing so hard. There was a lot of funny moments in this movie. Nick Cage is great as Dracula.
Yes, he is.
I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I think I heard about this probably either at the beginning of this year or maybe late last year. I heard, somebody either said or I saw the article that, oh, Nick Cage is playing Dracula. Perfect.
Right,
What is this
right.
movie? Renfield? Okay, yeah, I'll go see that. And then, here we are finally. The movie came out.
Hmm.
And I do have one minor little nitpick but I'll wait on that one. So, we finally
Okay.
get to watch it and we were just having a great time. First of all, the action in this movie was probably the most impressive thing. Like their
Oh yeah.
fight scenes, I thought their fight scenes held up compared to like superhero movie fight scenes. Like they are really well done.
It's almost like the gore and everything like that part of it, and the fast action reminded me of the boys,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But it was just so entertaining. I mean, it was like a John Wick, the boys kind of thing put together.
I think Nick Cage. I want to say he's like a big like samurai movie fan. I want to say. I don't
I can
know
see
that.
it.
I think he's really big into that. And just like that Japanese culture, they're very excessive with their violence. They'll
Right.
have scenes of guys ripping their arms off and just blood spraying everywhere. Almost think of like, like a Quentin Tarantino movie, like how his violence can be very over the top. And I feel
Yes.
like Nick Cage was like, we need this to be very over the top violence. Because I mean, my God, like dude gets punched in the head and his head just explodes. Or I mean, there's just so many scenes where
Or the
one
arm just
yeah, one of my favorite characters is the guy over my shoulder. Actor's name is Ben Schwartz. He played Lobo, the son of the family, like the
Teddy.
gang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mm,
don't know if I don't think you ever watched Parks and Rec. He
no.
plays one of the greatest characters in Parks and Rec, and he kind of plays a similar character in this. He's just kind of a wisecracking, like very fast paced guy. His death scene is great when he just gets kicked so hard that he shits himself to death.
Oh yeah.
Like that scene when it happened, like me and my buddies, we just out loud went, "Oh!" Like we had to go like that.
I did the same thing. I went with my friends too today, and the same thing. Like she's like,
Yeah,
oh. I mean, it's definitely very Mortal Kombat there,
that's
but
so funny. That's what he said. He goes, "Oh, that's like Mortal Kombat." I was like, "Oh yeah, okay."
it really is like brutality.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it was just
Um,
too good.
yeah. One of the scenes that definitely stood out was probably when they were trying to get out of the apartment, and there's like that big fight scene in the apartment,
Oh,
and like Awkwafina is
love
just
that.
like shooting all these guys, and he's just like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
smashing all these dudes, and he like, yeah, I think he rips the one guy's arms off, and he throws them at the other two guys, and they get hit against the
Oh yeah, like he
wall.
pins him, yeah.
Yeah,
But it was funny right before he's like ripping him off, like, oh, I can
yes,
do this.
I do love
But
towards the end too with Ben Schwartz's character. He becomes the similar to Nicholas Holt, which again, they're so he's not a vampire, Renfield. He's not a vampire, but he
No.
has his abilities.
Right.
Because there's one scene early on where they're at the restaurant and Awkwafina sees him in the reflection. That's why she knows to shoot the one guy. So obviously he
Mhm.
doesn't have pure vampiric
Right.
abilities.
Like
He just has
even
certain
uh-huh.
things.
Like even Dracula said in the movie too, he has a taste of his powers.
Right.
You know, it's not
So obviously he
full
wouldn't want to give him,
vampire.
yeah, he wouldn't want to give him full powers or else he would be
Right.
matched,
So he
but
gave him immortality pretty much. Well, not immortality, but he can live longer
and that's
and
why
he
he can
has
also be out during the daylight too.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
he
it
gives
makes
it to
sense.
all those guys at the end, all the family member or the
Hmm.
gang members, and Ben Schwartz, he's fighting against Awkwafina, and she's like, "Oh, I'm out." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah," and then she comes out with the shotgun, and he goes, "Oh," and she just blows him away.
Like, oh no.
Yeah.
What got me was when when Renfield was like, it's a curse. You'll become his servant. No, master said, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Like that was perfect.
Yeah, and he catches himself saying it. That's great. Yeah, this movie is really
Oh,
funny. Uh,
oh yeah, it was incredibly entertaining for sure.
I'm actually glad that I saw this with a group of people just having a good time because I feel like that's what this movie is. It's just go see
Yeah,
it and have a fun time. 90-minute
exactly.
movie. You know, it's not anything that's gonna change the game anywhere. It's not probably not gonna be the best Dracula there is. Nick Cage is a really good Dracula though. Like he does a
Yeah.
really good.
But the way his acting was, you could tell it's Nick Cage,
Oh yeah.
not Dracula.
There's
You
one
know?
scene where I think he's talking to Nicholas Holt, Renfield's character, and he's being Dracula the whole time, but then he does this little Nick Cage ism, I would call it, where he does this
Yeah.
little like a face or like a little like sound that he makes or something. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's just Nick Cage, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. When he's doing his own monologue thing
Yes,
in the apartment
right.
and everything, I was like, yeah, you could definitely hear his sounds. Like it sounded a lot more from Face Off.
Okay.
You know,
Face off.
when he's still as Castor Troy.
Hmm.
But no, sorry, Sean Archer, pretty much. And then he's already high and everything. It sounded like that. Like, yeah, that is definitely Nick Cage. But still, like, I don't know why in my head I kept thinking how uncomfortable must have been those teeth in his mouth the entire time.
I think there was something with that. Like, I feel like I read something where he actually like kind of filed his teeth down to get it a certain way or something like that, which I wouldn't be surprised if that was an actual thing with Nick Cage. He seems like he's been wanting to play Dracula for a very, very long time.
Oh,
Let's see. Okay, so a little bit of trivia. Captain Nemo, Superman, and Dracula were the three roles Nicolas Cage dreamed about playing when he started his acting career. So, okay.
wait, which
Um,
one did you say?
Superman, Captain
Right.
Nemo, and Dracula. He
Well, he
almost got to be
almost put.
Superman.
Yeah, I was gonna say you almost got Superman.
Yeah, yeah, almost. I mean,
Hey,
he got to be in the suit, but never actually got to make the
right,
movie. So,
right.
yeah, oh well. Even with a long history of turning down big movies, if doesn't center on his character, Nicolas Cage agreed to play Dracula because it was a lifelong dream for him, and he loved the comedy parts in the script.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, I think he's been trying to make this movie for a while.
Well, hey,
So,
it paid off. For me, it paid off. You know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as much as fun as this movie is, I would actually love to also see Nick Cage in a very dramatic Dracula movie. Is that if that makes sense?
Hmm.
Just to see him
I
in
think that
more,
would be good.
I don't know, like a real dark horror movie
Right,
Dracula.
right, right. I think you can still pull it off.
Yeah. So it looks like
Um,
they for the flashback or for the so they actually were inserted into footage from the 1931 Dracula for those
it looked
flashback
like it.
scenes. Yeah.
It looked like it, especially with the stair scenes and like in the castle part when he's serving him like wine and stuff like that. That's very much the original.
Right. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture, but this is actually a thing. Nick Cage is actually being accused of being a vampire in real life due to pictures from different ages with people looking like him. You'll have to insert Nick Cage pictures here or these
No,
what
yeah,
we're talking about.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the same thing with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That'd be a great movie right there because Keanu Reeves, he played whatchamacallit in the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. He was
Oh
Harker.
yeah, yeah, that's
So
right.
he
I
should
forgot about that.
they should make a movie together, them facing off against each other. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Face off, Dracula style.
Ah, Dracula style.
But it pretty much just seems like Nick Cage just lives this life in real life. I guess he owns several castles or did own several actual castles. Um,
Yeah.
says he lived in a haunted castle for over a year to write a horror script. Um, yeah, it just sounds like he basically just wants to be the real life Dracula.
It's as close as it's gonna get.
Yeah. Oh, so here we were talking about Renfield and what he has. So it's known as clinical vampirism. It's a rare psychiatric disorder where an individual has an intense fascination with drinking blood or believing themselves to be a vampire. The syndrome is named after the character R.M. Renfield from Bram Stoker's novel Dracula,
Right.
who consumed live insects to obtain their life force. Okay,
Mhm.
interesting.
And fun fact that there is a documentary out there that people actually do believe they're vampires, and they actually drink people's blood. But
Sad to say, I believe it. Sure.
no, I've seen it, and it's weird. But the thing is, because they do that all the time, they get so many diseases. You know,
Yeah.
they even file their teeth and everything.
Ugh,
It's
that's
weird. It is weird. Okay,
ugh.
what did you not like about the movie?
Well, one thing is just you could have used more Nick Cage for sure. But you
Yeah,
knew, it's not about him necessarily, which I get. But of course I could always have used more Nick Cage. Um, I guess one little nitpick to go off of is it's a very simple story. There's not a ton
it is.
of they try to do the whole thing with Awkwafina, and it's like, well, her dad was the cop, and she. It's like, all right, we've seen that before. It's not necessarily anything
Exactly.
too deep, and
That was a bit overdone. Uh,
probably could have used more backstory to Renfield because he doesn't really talk about his family. He shows a brief picture of like his daughter and his wife.
right, right. Like I was expecting something more because even based on the trailers, since he's still narrating and everything like that, that I would
Yeah,
expect some type of backstory. Not just like the black and white version. You know,
right.
yeah, it really did leave some gaps there.
Yeah.
And then even some scenes where when Dracula, you see him back at his lair, right, trying to get the mob people, and you see the pile of cheerleaders and the nuns or whatever. I was like, how did he get that? Was he already strong enough to go after
Hmm.
the cheerleaders?
Hmm.
You know, that was like my one couple of things like that. Like they just showed up.
Sure.
And
I do wonder if some stuff maybe got cut from the movie. They just wanted to make it a
oh,
sharper 90-minute movie, and maybe some things got taken out.
well,
Um,
even the stuff in the trailer that are not in the movie. So
yeah, the one line that I keep thinking about from the trailer that's not in that scene is she goes, "What do you get Dracula's Postmates for him or something like that?"
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
So
when he like does the sign of the cross at the nuns. Like in the movie, he just does a sign, and yeah, in the trailer, he actually says a line for it.
okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and to be
Uh,
honest, I didn't know much about the Renfield character going into this. I mean, when I hear
mhm.
the title, I was like, what is that? And I was like, okay, that's like his assistant. Okay, gotcha. Because it's been a while since I've seen the original Dracula, so I don't remember too much about it.
I think the last time I saw the original Dracula was last year in October.
Okay. Yeah, so and I'll be honest, I haven't seen that many iterations of Dracula. I've never seen the Coppola one, so that'd be one I probably would want to check out.
I've seen parts of it. Never seen it
Okay.
completely.
I heard it's pretty good, so that might be one to check it. I know there's so many others.
Oh,
I've never,
there's terrible.
when it comes to like classic horror, for some reason, vampires have never attracted to me as much as like the other ones.
Interview with a Vampire. Come on.
Never seen it.
Oh,
Yeah, never seen it.
what is wrong with you? You need to see it. That's like probably the best vampire movie ever. I mean it.
No, best vampire movie ever is Fright Night. Just to be we're clear about that.
Okay. Okay. I'll
Which
give you that. Fright Night
which
is good.
there is a Fright Night connection to this movie. The main character from the original Fright Night from the 80s one actually plays the older priest in this movie. IMDb, let's take a look here. Let's see what we got going on. Did you want to guess at the user score for IMDb at the moment?
I am going to go with a 7.4.
Close, 7.0 at the moment.
Okay.
Right now it's got
It's just the first. It's the
yeah,
opening weekend.
yeah. 57 Metascore, and then on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 62% tomato score, 67% audience score, so it's roughly around the same. A little mixed, but seems to be getting relatively positive reviews for the most part. I
It's
think
an
the
entertainment.
yeah, I think a lot of people are praising Nick Cage, and that's
Yeah.
mostly where a lot of the praise is coming from right now, which
Yeah.
makes sense. So,
Yeah.
yeah, see how this movie does box office wise. I mean, everyone's basically fighting an uphill battle against Mario at the moment. Don't know
True.
who's gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna dethrone Mario for a while, probably until
Uh,
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in a few weeks. So
oh yeah, that's right.
that'll
That's
probably
gonna
be
be
the
packed.
that'll be the next big one. I'm sure. What does that mean, Chris? Did we reach 50 miles an hour on the bus?
I think so.
All right. So we hit 50 miles an hour. That means that the bus is ready to go. We can't go back. That means it's time for Pop
Pop quiz.
Quiz Hotshot. All right. So here we go. Pop Quiz Hotshot. Two guys watch a movie. Who remembers the most about it? Well, let's find out. This is how it works. There are 5 rounds, 1 question each per round, and the points will go up 1 each round. Chris and I will go back and forth asking the multiple choice questions that we each came up with. Whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Me.
And Chris, who is on the current win? First question for you, Chris. Who's on the current 2-game winning streak?
This
This guy. That's right. All right. If we are tied at the end, we're going to play a game called Movie Actor, which will be our form of sudden death. But if we get to that, we'll explain it. As of right now, we're 5 games in, and we've not gotten the sudden death. Who knows? Maybe this will be the one.
It could be.
For our audience members, feel free to play along. Who knows? You might do better than us. Probably do better than Chris, because he was
Oh,
basically writing answers down as he was driving, not trying to get hit by other oncoming traffic. And
I
comment,
must
let us
say
know how you did. That's so bad. We gotta
I
find
did. I had
another.
to swerve a little bit.
See. I was writing in the theater. Like I was actually like making notes in the theater.
I don't know
These are
how
my
you can
notes.
do that. I don't know how you
Yep,
can
those are
do
my
that.
notes.
There's
I
like no
just,
line in there.
I just write and then I try to make sense of it later. Anyways, but yes, for our audience, feel free to comment and let us know how you did. Or if you want, you can email us at crosscutpodcast@gmail.com for our listeners. But now that we've established the rules, let's play.
So since it was my week to pick the movie, I get to ask the first question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You might get this anyway, but what was the name of the bar at the beginning of the movie? Was it A, Mulate, B, Toxic Waste, C, Alibi, or D, The Vortex?
It was a mulate.
Good, correct.
Right, one for Josh. All right, are you ready for your
I
question?
started you off easy. Give me something easy. Come on.
I think this one's pretty easy. What was Renfield's job title when he first encountered Dracula? Was it A, real estate lawyer, B, used car salesman, C, door-to-door Bible salesman, or D, house call doctor?
He was a real estate lawyer.
That is correct.
Yes.
All right, after 1 round, Chris and I are tied 1-1.
All right. Next question. What was Rebecca's father's rank when he was a cap? Was it A, general, B, captain, C, sergeant, or D, detective? Oh, am I already stopping you?
Was it B, captain?
Yes.
Ooh.
You guessed that.
No, I actually, when you said captain, I was like, that sounds right.
Technically, they never say it.
You see it?
It's on his picture in the precinct. It says Captain um, Quincy.
So you were digging deep this time.
Oh, this time no more key points. Forget that. All
All
right.
right. Are you ready for your question number 2?
Yes.
Which of these was not a character at Renfield's support group? Was it A, Kathy, B, Carol, C, Caitlin, or D, Bob?
The first one.
Kathy?
Yes.
Correct.
I was paying attention to those names. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. After 2 rounds, Chris and I are tied 3-3.
Okay. What was the name of the hitman that Renfield encounters? Was it A, Patchface, B, Poncho Fist, C, Apache Joe, D, Butch the Punch Masher?
C, Apache Joe.
Damn it, yes.
That's actually a perfect lead-in question to my next question.
Oh.
So, next question. When Renfield fights Apache Joe, he cuts off a piece of him. What piece does he cut off? Was it A, ear, B, tongue, C, his hands, or D, his leg? Hey guys, Josh here. Sorry to cut in, but just wanted to make a note real fast. So I actually just went ahead and saw Renfield for a second time tonight, and I noticed something wrong with this question that I just asked Chris about Apache Joe. So he actually doesn't get his tongue cut off at all. I'm not sure what I saw. They do mention that his character cuts people's tongues off, but he doesn't actually have that happen. The only thing that happens to him is he has his head taken off, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and give the points to Chris, and basically just wanted to make a note that I totally screwed that question up. All right, thanks guys. Back to the program. 3.
All right. All right. Question. When Renfield is cleaning his apartment, what does he find hanging in the kitchen? Was it A, spider webs, B, film negatives, C, blood stains, or D, graffiti?
Spider webs.
Incorrect. It was a film negative. It was like spiral. It was in a spiral. You know, from those disposable cameras.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it was.
All right.
Whoa, what's the score now?
That's still 6-3.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for your question?
Yes, yes, yes.
What police district was Rebecca in? Was it A, 6, B, 8, C, 11, or D, 13?
6.
She was in 6?
Yeah.
Wrong, sir.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
It was
the wrong
8.
answer.
And you see this
Oh.
multiple times. You see an exterior shot that says 8th Police District, but
Yeah.
also if you notice on her uniform, she has the number 8 on both of her collars.
I did not pay attention to that. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right.
Okay, so we're coming into the final round. Josh is winning 6-3. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be talking about myself in the third person from now on. So if Josh
Wow.
gets this right, Josh wins because Chris can't get to.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I would win.
All right. This the only one I can think of that might get you. So, how many years does it take place after the incident with the priest? Was it A, 100 years, B, 50 years, C, 80 years, or D, 90 years?
Say 90 years.
Correct.
Oh,
You guessed.
well, sort of. This was my mentality. If it was supposed to be 1931,
Hmm.
90 years would have been 2021, which I'm assuming that's maybe when it took place. So,
Right, right. Okay, okay.
do you want my last question?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the remaining ones.
All right. Well, I got two more. I'll give you the last one. So, and then I'll give you the easy one. One of Rebecca's coworker police officers is named Kyle, who they refer to as F you, Kyle. But
You, Kyle.
also, he also shares a last name with a famous horror director. What is Kyle's last name? Was it A, Raimi, B, Carpenter, C, Craven, or D, Hooper?
Craven.
Nope. The answer is Raimi. And you see it
Oh,
on his uniform multiple times.
Raimi, huh?
Damn Raimi, yep.
Man, you put that Wes Craven in there on purpose. God damn
Of
it. All right,
course I did,
all
because
right. There we go.
he made the most famous vampire movie of all time. It was, what is it, Brooklyn and Vampire or something with Eddie Murphy?
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Vampire in Brooklyn. Yeah.
But what about Dracula 2000?
That wasn't him.
That was Wes Craven.
Was it? I
Yeah,
don't think it was.
three. You
Because
made
that
three.
came out the same year as Scream 3. Could he have made two movies in the same year?
You made three Dracula movies. It was Dracula, Dracula 2,
Nope,
and
wasn't
Dracula
Wes Craven.
2000. What?
Nope. That was Patrick Lussier, who was a editor in the industry. But it was not
Oh,
Wes Craven. Maybe he was a producer. Let me double check. Looking right now.
I swear.
Yeah, he was executive producer on Dracula 2000.
So that's what I got mixed up. Okay, so he was a
Yeah, but he
producer.
didn't direct it.
Okay. Because I have like a Wes Craven vampire collection and it has those three
Mhm.
movies on there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so they probably just produced it just to have his name on it so they could sell it
Yeah.
to ding dongs like you who'd buy
Well, do you want to know
it.
my couple of questions left?
I do, yeah.
Okay. What does Rebecca's sister work for? Was it A?
FBI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was too easy. And there was another one that I think you would have gotten to
Was it
also.
what was her job?
Who? Rebecca's?
Rebecca?
No, she was the traffic beat cop.
Right, but what was her exact official one she had
Um,
to do? Was it parking meters? Was it security? Was it desk jockey? Or was it DUI checkpoints?
oh yeah, the DUI checkpoint. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my last question.
Well, I had this one where what was the name of the girl from the support group that Renfield claims is a friend of? Do you know?
Caitlin?
Yeah, it was Caitlin.
Yeah.
Or the what kind of cookie does he give to Rebecca in his apartment?
Oh, if you tell me the options, I'll know.
Chocolate chip cookie, a snickerdoodle,
Snickerdoodle.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
snickerdoodle.
I couldn't think of it in my head, but I was like, once he says it, I'll know it. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Snickerdoodle.
one of my questions was gonna be like, how did he cut the guy's arms off? But we already covered it.
Oh, with the plate or whatever.
The platter, yeah.
The platter, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Do you remember where Dracula hid out while he was in New Orleans? Where his
Yeah, the abandoned hospital.
hospital, yeah. Yep.
They do
That
say
was
the name of the hospital, but it was too quick. I couldn't remember it.
oh yeah, I would not have
Yeah.
caught it. Trying to think if I had anything else. Obviously you knew what city it took place in.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Do you remember the name of the church group that he goes to? Because
I was trying to remember that. I know it
I think
started
it's
with an
like Lime Spring or something like
no.
that.
It started with an L, but I think it was something like Living Light or something like that.
No, I definitely had the name Spring in it. So like Live Spring. It was Live Spring then.
Live Spring then.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
know I had Spring. That's all I could read for my writing, but I
I
couldn't tell what the rest of it was.
I could
So
only remember it was like Live for the very
okay,
beginning.
then it was Live
Uh,
Spring Church.
I
Yeah.
was gonna try to do that for my question, but I could not remember the name of it, and I can't look it up either because it's brand new movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, trying to find any type of trivia or anything it's only so much you can find right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Well, congratulations to Josh for winning this week's pop quiz hotshot. That means I've won 3 in a row now. Josh
I,
is killing it, man. Chris, overall
well,
thoughts. What did you think of Renfield?
I loved it. It was a very entertaining. It was it was at the edge of your seat in the fight scenes. You know, the story was simple, but it was easy to follow. I wasn't bored at all.
Good.
You
Yeah.
know, and it's Nick Cage playing Dracula. Come on, you're gonna love it.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
as long as you're a Nick Cage fan. I mean, there's people out there that maybe don't like Nick Cage, so they maybe wouldn't be into it. But I
true,
don't, I love it.
true.
Yeah.
I still love that at all. What are your thoughts?
A lot of fun, bloody good time, more blood than I was expecting. Even though it's a Dracula movie, it's way bloodier than I thought it
I,
was going to be.
I
Which I
love the
definitely
gore.
appreciate. Yeah, I'm actually probably gonna go see it again. Honestly,
I
this
might
is
too.
an easy rewatch. Nice 90
Yeah,
minutes. Nicholas
yeah,
Holt, great as Renfield. He was funny. He played the good kind of humble-ish type of character. I
it's
really
really,
like
really good.
Awkwafina. I think she's always funny in a lot of
Oh
stuff she
yeah.
does. She plays it well. Ben
Hey,
Schwartz, who I said played Teddy Lobo, he's hysterical. I'll watch him in anything. So yeah, good cast. Of course, Nick Cage rounds it out with him as
cool,
Dracula.
cool.
So yeah, really funny. If you wanna laugh and you wanna watch some bloodshed, go check out Renfield this weekend.
Definitely worth
Playing
a
at
watch
a theater near you. Maybe.
near
Probably.
you.
I'm assuming.
Hopefully, hopefully.
There's no other big movies coming out this weekend, right? It's just this, and
I think it was just this. I
there
mean,
might have been
I
some like
just
smaller-ish movies coming out.
yeah, like
Oh, that
I'm like looking always on like the movie Insider to see what's actually scheduled to come out every week.
are you gonna go see Pope's Exorcist?
I was tempted to actually.
I think it looks like hot garbage. I'm not gonna even
It,
go near that one.
like I said, I've been tempted just because it has Russell Crowe in it.
That doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I don't.
Come
Whatever.
on, it's Russell Crowe.
Yeah, if you said that 20 years ago, I'd be like, of course. But Russell Crowe now, after like him and Thor, I'm just like, nah, I don't. No,
I forgot who he plays in Thor.
he's uh Hercules' dad. I can't think of his name.
Oh right, yeah, yeah,
Zeus,
yeah. Yes,
and
that's
he
right.
was terrible.
Hey, come on, he's the perfect Jor-El for Man of Steel.
Sure, you say so, Chris.
Hey, come on, I'm a
Uh,
Superman fan. I gotta love it.
yeah, Pope's Exorcist not looking too good right now. Renfield's looking like the movie to go see this weekend as far as new
Yeah,
movies.
no, it
Um,
is
yeah. So, yeah, overall, this movie was a lot of fun. Um, you know, definitely would rewatch this, put this on, and have a fun time.
for sure. Go see it
Um,
with friends.
Go see it with friends. Yeah, that's the best thing to recommend with this movie is go see it with friends and have a lot of
Yeah,
fun. I didn't have a ton of people in my theater, besides me and the 2 people I was with, there was maybe a few other people, so it wasn't a big theater reaction. I don't know. Did you have a lot of people or?
it was it wasn't full.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the theater was had a few people, but because it wasn't released in Dolby or anything like that either,
Mm,
so it was just regular digital. But
gotcha.
you can still hear the audience like reactions, the laughing parts and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Okay.
it was all right, you know.
Good. Good. Well, next week, do we want to announce what we're doing next week already?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm excited to announce that for our next episode, we'll be doing Evil Dead Rise, which
Yes.
I'm real excited for.
I I rewatched the trailer today. It was just like it was an ad on Facebook. I was like,
Mhm.
I want to watch this again. I'm like, oh, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful. I mean, it's been getting pretty good reviews so far. I played at South by Southwest. Um, I don't know if they're trying to set something up because Bruce Campbell was there at screening, so I don't know if that means anything with him.
He probably
Possibly,
does a cameo. I mean,
I'm assuming he'll have a cameo, but it'd be cool if they're actually going to be like, hey, we're planning something
mhm.
more, before Bruce gets a little too old.
I mean, it could be fun to see him again as Ash.
That would be
Yeah.
fun. Absolutely. So yeah, stay tuned for the after this one, next one, Evil Dead Rise coming a week from now. Besides that, Chris, what else you got going on?
Uh, Nothing much really. Yeah, just busy working. Same old, same old. What about you?
Same old, same old. That's pretty much me too. Just same old, same old. Not much else going on in life. Just now we're getting some nicer weather up here, so I'm looking forward to maybe doing some outdoor stuff.
Huh?
Um, Besides that, I don't know. Yeah, just living life gloriously one day at a time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thank you all for listening and watching. If you want to help support the show, you can do so in multiple ways. One way is to hit that like button for this episode. Another way is to hit that subscribe to the channel and stay up to date for future episodes. You can also support the show by donating to us at buymeacoffee.com/crosscut. Whether it be a one-time or monthly donation, anything helps. We're broke. We would like some money. Chris doesn't buy any snacks at the theater because he can't afford them. So please donate a couple
Gotta
bucks.
sneak in those PB&J sandwiches, which I've actually done. So
Nice. Nice. I love it. But yes, anything helps. And we do want to thank you all for watching. Chris,
yes,
take it from here.
cut, print, moving on.